weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Imagine the king of hip-hop's empire crumbling. Not in a courtroom, not in a headline, but in the shadows where past enemies are circling. Old incidents are bubbling up, and the same forces that took down Diddy could be gunning for Jay-Z next. We've watched the fall of Sean Combs unfold in real time. The prison sentences, the new probes, the damning testimonies painting him as a predator hiding behind power. But now insiders are whispering that the spotlight is shifting. Music, and this time it's aimed squarely at Shan Carter. The question isn't just whether Jay-Z has skeletons in his closet, it's whether those skeletons are about to burst out, dragging his billion-dollar legacy down with them. We can't ignore the timing. Just as Diddy's legal nightmare deepens with the LA County Sheriff's Department launching a fresh investigation into allegations of misconduct from 2020 and music, his prison release date mysteriously extended, voices like Gene Deal are turning the conversation toward Jay-Z. The narrative is clear. If one mogul's dark past can unravel so spectacularly, why not another? And when we look at the patterns, the accusations of manipulation, the whispers of predatory behavior, the decades of carefully controlled public image, it's hard not to wonder, is Jay-Z next? The man who built an empire on savvy business moves and untouchable connections now faces a reckoning that feels inevitable. Because in the wake of Diddy's collapse, the rules have changed. The protections that once shielded men like them are eroding. And the stories that were once buried, they're resurfacing with a vengeance. You understand, I think that they don't want if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make up their brand. Let's start with the contradictions. Jay-Z has spent years cultivating an image of a self-made titan, a husband, a father, a cultural architect who transcended the streets to become a boardroom legend. But behind that polished veneer, insiders claim there's another side. A shadow operator who allegedly betrayed allies, ducked conflicts when convenient, and most disturbingly preyed on vulnerable young women. Music, these aren't just random rumors. They're part of a growing chorus, one that's getting louder as Diddy's downfall emboldens others to speak up. Take the explosive claims from figures like Jaguar Wright, who didn't just call Jay-Z a monster on public platforms. She alleged he's kept Beyoncé under control through substances, turning their marriage into what she describes as a business arrangement. I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting music, Hype Williams to put a Leo on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyoncé, who was struggling. Then there's the former bodyguard known as Uncle Ron, who went viral earlier this year with allegations that Jay-Z has been pumping Beyoncé with substances to maintain dominance over her. The details are staggering. A marriage built on transaction, not love. A wife who, according to these accounts, is more employee than partner, and a power dynamic so extreme that even Ba's legendary independence might be an illusion. Now ask yourself, if these claims hold even a grain of truth, what else has Jay-Z been hiding? The parallels to Diddy's case are impossible to miss. Both men rose to power in the same era. Both wielded influence like a weapon, and both have faced whispers of questionable behavior for decades. But where Diddy's alleged crimes are now being dissected in courtrooms and police reports, Jay-Z's past has largely been shielded by his reputation, his legal team, and a carefully constructed PR machine. That shield, however, is showing cracks, music threatening. I mean, let's just be real for a second. There are a lot of lawyers who call this legal extortion and that this is the way the legal system works, which is you music threaten somebody with reputational harm, and in this case it's interesting that Jay-Z, who's very wealthy, said it would be financial ruin. The same legal strategies that once kept scandals at bay, non-disclosure agreements, strategic silences, the threat of lawsuits, aren't as effective in 2025. The culture has music shifted. Survivors are speaking out, and the public is no longer willing to separate the art from the artist's actions. When Diddy was convicted on federal charges this summer, the message was clear. No amount of fame or fortune can outrun accountability forever. So why would Jay-Z be the exception? Now let's talk about the patterns. Diddy's downfall didn't happen overnight. It was a slow unraveling, fueled by civil lawsuits, criminal investigations, and a growing list of accusers who refused to stay silent. Jay-Z's situation mirrors that trajectory in eerie ways. There's the long-standing speculation about his relationships with young women in the industry. Allegations that stretch back to the 90s when he was reportedly pursuing Aaliyah while she was still a teenager. And we do have some breaking news that we want to bring to you. It was being reported by TMZ and now Fox News. We are learning that Jay-Z is accused of rapping a 13-year-old girl. That is new in the Diddy. Dame Dash, his former business partner, has openly discussed the bitterness Jay-Z harbored over Aaliyah's rejection, music painting a picture of a man obsessed with control. Then there's the Foxy Brown rumors, revived by Wendy Williams of all people, who casually dropped on her show that Jay-Z and the rapper had a romantical thing before Beyoncé. Music on its own that might just be tabloid fodder. But when you layer it alongside the claims from Jaguar Wright, who's been sounding the alarm on both Diddy and Jay-Z for years, a darker narrative emerges. Wright didn't just call Jay-Z a predator, she framed him as part of a system. One where powerful men allegedly used their influence music to exploit and silence. And if we've learned anything from the Diddy trial, it's that where there's one accuser, there are often more waiting in the wings. The timing of all this is no coincidence. Diddy's legal troubles have opened the floodgates, and the entertainment world is bracing for the next domino to fall. Just look at how quickly the LA Sheriff's Department moved music to investigate new allegations against Kmez. Allegations that, if proven, could add years to his prison sentence. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's name is being dragged into the conversation not by fringe commentators but by people who have worked alongside him. Jay-Z got his ass whooped by his sister-in-law on camera. Clears throat, what's her name? Salange, you got an ass. The fans ain't step in and do nothing. The fans don't get you, care about you getting your ass whooped. Gene Deal, a figure with deep ties to hip-hop's inner circles, has been vocal about Jay-Z's alleged betrayals, suggesting he spent years playing both sides, staying loyal to no one but himself. And then there's the matter of R. Kelly. Dame Dash has publicly slammed Jay-Z for collaborating with Kelly not once but music, twice after Kelly's history of abusing young women including Aaliyah was already an open secret. Dash's disgust wasn't music, just personal. It was a moral indictment. If Jay-Z was willing to overlook Kelly's crimes for the sake of a paycheck, what else was he willing to ignore? But here's where things get even more complicated. Jay-Z isn't just facing rumors about his personal life. There are questions about his business practices too. The same empire that made him a billionaire, Roc Nation title, his vast network of investments has long operated under a veil of secrecy. Yeah, at this point laughter now, it's I would want yo why. And now as Diddy's legal team scrambles to appeal his conviction, insiders are asking who else in their circle might be vulnerable. The Rio charges that nearly took Diddy down were built on the idea that his business was a front for criminal activity. Could the same logic apply to Jay-Z's operations? We know he's faced lawsuits before, from investors, music, from artists, from former partners who claim they were shut out or manipulated. But what if those disputes are just at the tip of the iceberg? What if, like Diddy, Jay-Z's success was built on more than just talent and hustle? Let's not forget the cultural moment we're in. The public's tolerance for powerful men with dark pasts is at an all-time low. The Me Too movement didn't just expose individuals. Music, it dismantled entire systems of protection. And Jay-Z, for all his carefully curated image as a family man and philanthropist, has never fully addressed the whispers music about his past. He's never had to until now. Is into those things, that's in the indictment. Cassie has not denied it, but they've came out and said, that Diddy used to like to watch Cassie. That's what he's into. Some men like to do that stuff. There's not a crime in that. But yes, Ray J, from what I was told from being inside at the highest level, that Jay-Z likes to watch Beyoncé with different men such as Ray J, because the same forces that brought down Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, and now Diddy aren't going away. They're gaining momentum. And if Jay-Z's name keeps coming up in these conversations, it's only a matter of time before someone with real leverage